Hey there, welcome to ITV. I'm Ambika Kulburgi. Today we continue with the India trip of the trade delegation that accompanied Maryland Governor Martin O'Malley in late November and early December 2011. Our cameras traveled with the India-US World Affairs Institute, led by Vinod Jain and Raj Dave. In today's show, we are at the last two events in Hyderabad. They really did spend a lot of time in Hyderabad.
A few months back, I had the opportunity to meet with the advance team from the Governor of Maryland's office who were in Hyderabad, and we were discussing. And the reality was that at that point of time, Hyderabad was not necessarily on the list of governor's visit program. The advance team was actually visiting India, going to different places, meeting with the local teams, trying to finalize the agenda and to finalize the itinerary. So we are actually quite glad that the governor's team and the governor and the First Lady of Maryland have deemed Hyderabad to be a worthy place to come in and spend their time here. We're extremely grateful to you, sir. And may I invite Governor Martin O'Malley to please come and take a seat out here. Yes. And the reality is that when we did meet the advance team a few months back, we did not realize the size and the scale of the actual delegation. And it's extremely impressive that it's more than 100 people in the delegation.
TIE is an association of entrepreneurs. In fact, our headquarters is in Silicon Valley. We have nearly 52 chapters all over the globe. In fact, one of our very important chapters is our Washington DC chapter. Many Indian Americans and American citizens are part of this association.
On behalf of the U.S. Foreign Commercial Service in India, I would like to welcome you to Hyderabad and India. As was mentioned, I'm the Principal Commercial Officer for South India, and our job is to connect U.S. businesses with Indian businesses here on the ground. Our President has challenged us to double exports in 5 years. I'm happy to say here in India, in the past 2 years, trade has grown 5 times. So we are on track to meet that goal. I'm delighted that my home state of Maryland is here to take advantage of that opportunity. And we in the Commercial Service, in our 7 offices throughout India, are here to help you follow up, make those connections, and build those bridges. So when you go back to Maryland, my colleague Steve Morrison, who's in the Baltimore U.S. Export Assistance Center, works very closely with the state of Maryland to make sure that you have success from this time spent here in India.
Allow me to just tell you a little bit about MedImmune. So we are the largest biotechnology company in Maryland. We do everything from target discovery almost to manufacturing. We are the biologics arm of AstraZeneca. But what we really dedicate ourselves is to 3 things. One is rigorous science, innovation, collaboration.
We hold BioAsia for the last 8 years in Hyderabad, and it has assumed a lot of importance in bringing together the business opportunities, because it's purely a business conference and not an academic conference.
I can think of no other governor in the entire United States that is as supportive of biotechnology and the innovation economy as Governor Martin O'Malley. Don't let me stand in the way of hearing from him today.
And I want to thank Dr. Jalal from MedImmune for her presentation today. Dr. Jalal is part of the really the command staff of a great company in Maryland, MedImmune, now part of the broad AstraZeneca family. But MedImmune represents the heart of our biotechnology industry in Maryland, an industry that, as Doctor said, and I'm going to take this talking point, has actually doubled employment in the last 3 years. So we've been facing the headwinds of the economic downturn. This is a beginning. Our trip here is a beginning. We're proud of this trip. We have with us 100 people. It is the largest state delegation ever to travel to India. We did not come here by accident. We did not come here because we had a hole in our schedule in December. We came here because we see tremendous opportunity and potential, and we see a tremendous responsibility, really, to make real what President Obama has called upon us to do, and that is to make our relationship between India and the United States the defining relationship of our time. I also want to thank, we happen to have the largest Indian American delegation in the United States of any of the states. And we're joined by a couple of those delegates I know here this morning. Our majority leader for the entire General Assembly, Kumar Barve, is with us. And we also have a rising star in the Maryland Democratic Party, a first-term delegate, Aruna Miller, who is here with us today. Whose family comes from Andhra Pradesh, right? Yeah. So there are some historians who look back at the march of human development, if you will, over the last 150 years, and they identify certain specific time periods, call them ages. The agricultural age, the age of industry, the age of technology, and some would say that now we are entering the age of biology. As I listened to some of the speakers, including Mr. Chowdhury in his opening remarks, I turned to the Consul General and I said, for the last few days here, we've wanted to talk about IT and biotech. And for the last few days, we've heard Indian leaders and business leaders wanting to talk about food and food processing and food security and the supply chain. And really, they both go together. The challenge that we have as human beings is how, with a population that is so rapidly increasing on the land area of a planet that is so very finite, the challenge is how do we find more sustainable ways to feed and to fuel and to heal this world of ours. And that's where the age of biology comes into play. With that spirit, namaste, good morning. It's a great opportunity to visit you here. I'm told this is called the Genome Valley. And I bring you greetings from the people of your hoped-for sister state. And that, in Maryland, we call ourselves in biotechnology circles anyway, America's home of the human genome. We chose to visit Hyderabad in particular because after sending our scouting team here, we saw so many opportunities and so many similarities with our region, in large part because Maryland and Andhra Pradesh recognize that the states that succeed in making our children winners in this new economy will be those states that succeed in unleashing the job-creating power of innovation. India and Maryland are both places of great history and tradition, and Maryland is home to one of America's largest and most vibrant Indian American communities. There are over 3,000 businesses being operated by Indian Americans in Maryland who employ approximately 27,000 people across all walks of life. We are also home to the U.S. operations of 6 very large Indian companies, including Lupin Pharmaceuticals. To give you another example, we have the second largest group of foreign students that attend our University of Maryland system are from India. The Milken Institute ranks us #1 among the 50 states for the investments that we make in human capital. We therefore have more PhD scientists and engineers per capita than any other state in the Union. We're home to some of the world's leading universities, including Johns Hopkins and the University of Maryland. There is a tremendous yearning in the world right now to belong, to strengthen connections. We have gone through a time of disconnection, but the urgency of our challenges requires, as never before in the history of mankind, that we strengthen the ties that bind us, and that we strengthen the creative capacity that each of us brings as individuals so that we might make this world a better place for the next generation and all of our children. Thanks very, very much.